live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Thanks for joining us on 2 News Live. I'm Brian Schnee. It is Wednesday, February 14th. Tell someone you love them today. We're going in depth tonight on the latest developments in the fallout from a now deleted post by Utah State Board of Education member Natalie Cline. We've talked to you a lot about this. We'll do it again right now. If you'd like to weigh in during the show as we go in depth, you can always get in touch with us. Use the hashtag 2NewsLive to join in on all the fun. And you can always find us on socials, right? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Send a DM anywhere to weigh in. The Utah State Board of Education has been having lots of conversations and held a special meeting this afternoon to address a social media post by board member Natalie Cline that has definitely stirred the pot. Emma Riley at that meeting. Emma, the meeting is behind that door, right?
Yeah, the meeting is still going. It's been nearly 2 hours. It started at about 3 o'clock, and they had scheduled it to only go until about 4, and it's now 5:30, and the door is still closed, and they are privately discussing Natalie Cline. They said that they will open the door to the public here shortly whenever they finish, but Cline is not in attendance. She announced that on a Facebook post about an hour before the meeting that she wouldn't be here. And earlier today, Cline wrote in a Facebook post also that the board is moving too quickly, calling their actions a form of election interference. She also shared in an email that she sent to the board claiming that they have harassed her for social media posts and accused them of trying to destroy her reputation with voters. The board responded this afternoon saying the law cited by Cline doesn't apply to members of the Board of Education, and even if it did, the date cited to calculate 60 days is inaccurate. So right now, it is just a waiting game. We are waiting for them to open it up to the public, and once they finish, we should know more.
Well, Emma, I was going to ask you about that because obviously we're in executive session. It is a closed-off conversation. Is there actually any indication that they will share what was discussed for the last hour and a half, or perhaps not?
That's the thing that we don't know, and we won't know until they open the doors and start on that next action item. We may walk out of here with more answers, but it's possible that we could walk out of here without any more than we have right now.
All right, Emma's there looking to get some of those answers to the questions a lot of you have at home. And of course, Emma, thank you, but we want to hear from you at home. Do you believe Natalie Cline's Board of Education meeting should be held in private or public chambers? Most of you, 80%, believe it should be publicly in front of everyone to see. If you'd like to weigh in, you can always scan that QR code on your screen. Obviously, we'll probably show you this viewer poll coming up tonight on 2 News at 6 o'clock as well, so your votes definitely do matter, but always feel like you can weigh in. We first broke the Natalie Cline story a week ago. That's when Cline shared a post on social media showing a girls' high school basketball team within the Granite School District that questioned the gender of one of the athletes on that team. Now on Thursday, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson called on Cline to resign. That was followed on Friday when the Granite School District passed a resolution calling for Cline to step down. Others have followed in those conversations. Utah lawmakers also opening a file for a resolution against Cline. As of right now, I don't believe that has been drafted, but Paul Nelson has been looking into that today. And on Monday, the Mill Creek City Council unanimously voted on a resolution demanding that Natalie Cline step down. That was followed by the Salt Lake City Council calling for Cline to resign. Just yesterday, both the Murray City Councils and Canyon School District weighing in, condemning Cline's post. Cline also posting today 5 pages worth of her perspective. So what is next for Natalie Cline? Some hesitation now over her potential impeachment by the Utah House. Brian Malahy milling about the Capitol as he always does. Brian, if the lawmakers don't impeach, would there be any sanction at this point? Where do things stand on Utah's Capitol Hill?
A formal rebuke of Cline's actions in that post on social media. Last week we were told everything's on the table. We're talking about impeachment. We're talking about everything else. We're getting information from our lawyers, from the legislative general counsel. But I'm hearing from some House Republicans that there is a reluctance to bring impeachment launch. It would take 2/3 in the House and it would take 2/3 in the Senate to convict. So some lawmakers are not there yet. Others are saying, yes, bring it on. Impeachment is the right way to go. I've asked, what are people in the Republican caucus saying, the majority caucus in the House? And the members that are talking to me, mostly not for attribution, are telling me, we don't know. We don't know which way this is going to go. So it is possible that Natalie Cline will avoid impeachment at the Capitol, still could face some sort of very formal sanction.
Brian, is there any indication on a timeline of when this took place? The reason why I ask, because Natalie Cline herself believes that the Utah State Board of Education is moving too quick with all of this, and she believes she is owed due process. Is that the same feeling from folks on Capitol Hill? Do they feel like they need to pump the brakes on this and do a little bit more homework?
I think there are some people who feel that way. We should point out that just last Friday, the legislative leadership in the House, the Republican leadership, met with Cline. I asked a series of questions about that meeting in terms of, what was discussed, where did it happen. I understand that there was a letter that Natalie Cline also wrote to the House. Would you provide that letter? Nothing back. Crickets on that. So what we have is, we have some people here who think, and I heard from one lawmaker today who said, look, the legislature should be out of this. Nobody's defending what she did, but the legislature should be out of it. Let the voters decide. I had one lobbyist come up to me today and say, though, the folks in the House, they're going to cave, right? You understand that's what's going to happen. So some people may see this as capitulation. Some people may see this as maybe talking tough and not delivering. Other people may see this as prudent because, wait a minute, we said it was on the table. We looked into it. Maybe it's not such a good idea. So I think there are a lot of opinions flying around right now. And so this whole notion of impeach may not be going down that road. Now, House Democrats today said everybody in their caucus is saying impeach her, because that way she would not be able to run for political office again in Utah. That's what Democrats want. Republicans may or may not be going down that path.
Brian, thank you. Obviously, impeach, a strong word, and has strong implications for the future of Natalie Cline. So we'll be on this. Stay with 2 News for the latest developments and the reaction to Natalie Cline's initial social post, and then, of course, the one today from just a few hours ago, which was very lengthy, included hyperlinks and news coverage and direct quotes and emails. It is in depth, which is what we do here on 2 News Live. Download the 2 News app for breaking news alerts, which is also a good app, but also the 2 News weather app for what's going on in this realm.
Yeah.
The Sean Kelly realm here. What's happening, man?
We had a little bit of snow last night. I did some skiing this morning. My face and
what I would take to be you
my
on the
toes,
slopes.
my fingers still a little bit numb right now, but this is beautiful. This is a live look up in Sundance, and we've got another storm heading our way. So let's get to the maps to show you what's going on out there. More snow moving in. Right now, just some flurries out there across our northern mountains as we start off your Wednesday. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. The snow totals from yesterday's storm, not that big, but we did see some spots picking up 3, 4, up to 5 inches. Brighton seeing 5 inches of snow. Snowbird seeing a couple inches of snow as well. But we've got more heading our way through the day tomorrow. 6 to 10 inches of snow looking more and more likely, with some snow showers that can linger on through Friday evening with an additional 1 to 2 inches of snow. Here's your first alert about tomorrow morning. It could be, will likely be, that is, a slick start to your day. Wet roads looking more likely as we're heading into the overnight, and especially for tomorrow morning's commute. That rain mixing with snow at times for the valleys. Mountain snow very likely with heavy snow at times. Road slush and even some accumulations looking more likely there, with temperatures very chilly into the upper 20s. But it's been mild here in Salt Lake. We've had the 6th that we're tied for. That is the 6th warmest winter so far, from December all the way through what we're dealing with here in the middle of February. And today was another very mild day. 50 degrees currently still at the hour. Winds out of the south, 60 miles per hour, but we will see some gusty winds tomorrow. Some 30 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts looking likely here. 45 in Logan. Heber at 40 degrees. Price sitting at 44 as well. down into the upper 50s in St. George, close to 60 degrees there. Winter weather advisories in effect for our northern mountains, where we could see upwards of 8 to maybe 16 inches of snow, with winter storm warnings in effect further up towards the north, out near portions in southern Idaho into Wyoming. We're dealing with temperatures here that are, as I mentioned, fairly mild. We're watching the system as it pushing in from the Pacific Northwest down through portions of Northern California. This is going to be the system that will be giving us that steady batch of precipitation falling early tomorrow morning for the morning commute. For what you see right now, this is going to mainly translate to a few light rain showers and some snow flurries through the later part of the evening. 11 p.m. it's mainly north of the area into southern Idaho, and then down through the I-15 corridor early 7 a.m. we're waking up to some steady moderate to heavy precipitation falling, maybe up from the benches up higher in elevation, 5,500 feet or so. That's when we start to see some of that snow and some of that accumulating at times. That snow and snow showers continues to stretch down through about lunchtime now for central and eastern portions of Utah, continuing on further out towards Colorado. And then we start to drying out through Thursday evening, and then a nice start to your morning here for Friday with another round of snow showers, especially up north of Provo as we head into Friday evening. Looking here for the snowfall totals, Wasatch back about 2 to 6 inches of snow. The valley's mainly a rain event, but as I mentioned, some of those higher elevations along the benches, maybe up to an inch or two will be possible. But the mountains doing fairly well, 8 to 16 inches of snow expected here through the next 36 hours or so. President's Day weekend, we're going to be watching out for that second storm that we'll see as we get into the day Sunday. And then on Monday as well, some lingering showers. It's going to be another storm that will bring some valley rain and mountain snow. The lows overnight falling down into the 20s and 30s. We'll see some steady falling rain tomorrow morning with the mountain snow heavy at times. High temperatures climbing into the 40s. St. George weather looking really nice though, 60s as both those storms kind of miss us just to the north. We could have some showers into Monday though. We'll watch out for that. And then here along the Wasatch Front, we'll see temperatures ranging from the 40s to 50s, still unseasonably warm, comfortable temperature wise. And then Sunday, we'll watch out for that second storm as well.
You've been here and we've had some storms.
Yeah, it's been fairly active. It's still not as active as last week, but yeah, earning my paycheck here.
There you go.
With all this active weather.
As the 2 News weather team does,
and it's
working hard.
It's making it a bit fun here. We're seeing, some good rain, and the mountains, the ski resorts, all happy with the above average snowfall, so we'll take it.
And you've been getting some turns in.
That's
I love
right.
To see it.
That's right.
Awesome,
Getting my practice in.
Thank you, Sean. Remember to download our 2 News weather app to know about changes in your neighborhood. You can get updated forecasts and live radar on your phone. The app is free to download. Before we end the program, I want to take a live look in Kansas. This has been something we've been talking about all afternoon and evening. So I was obviously in Las Vegas last week for the Super Bowl, so this one hits a little different for me. I mean, it's just odd to know the celebration and being in Allegiant and feeling the joy of the fans, and then knowing that this happened at a Super Bowl parade for the Kansas City Chiefs, celebrating back-to-back titles, their third in 5 years, with all the players there, families, fans. And this was a mass shooting that occurred in Kansas City towards the tail end of the parade. This is a live look right now of the main crime scene, I should say. This is right outside of Union Station. If you've been to KC, probably know this spot. Police have been doing a very good job, I will say, keeping us updated on some of the things they do know about this, a very fluid investigation. 1 dead, as you see on your screen, 22 injured in this shooting, including, as we understand it from the reporting of the Associated Press, that involves 8 children. So just think about that for a sec. You're out there as you're a fan and you're going to go enjoy a celebration and a parade, and you have to endure an experience like this, something that'll be hard to shake. It's clearly hard to shake for so many that live in the area and is being felt around the country and around the world. Just to give you a little update on some of those injuries, it was 8 confirmed immediate life-threatening injuries, 7 life-threatening, and then 6 people suffered minor injuries, 3 people in custody, motive unknown at this point. Suspect's name and information has not been released. Last we heard from police, they had not identified publicly the individual that was killed, still waiting to ID them and notify next of kin. But just something that's really tough to process here that happens in a way, sadly, on the daily in our country. But just think about that. That was a day in celebration, if you will, that ended in absolute devastation for families, fans, and people that just wanted to go out and have a good time. So I don't mean to leave it with a downer here on 2 News Live, but think about it for a sec. You're out there, say your favorite sports team, you were going to the championship parade, you're going to the celebration.
You've got your family, your friends.
You wouldn't be thinking necessarily, you wouldn't be focused on the what if scenario, although that did cross my mind in Vegas because the security was so high and they were so thorough about everything. So of course the news guy thought about it, but not something you should have to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. So sad, and our thoughts are with them, and I can't even imagine.
Neither can I, but it is something we'll be talking about. So stay with us on 2 News and also KUTV.com for the latest updates there. However, another day for us here on 2 News Live. We are back tomorrow. We hope you will join us. If you missed anything from today, you missed Sean's forecast, you missed any of our coverage on Natalie Cline, you can watch it back right now, youtube.com, KUTV 2 News Salt Lake City. Click the live tab. You'll find 2 News Live there. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Happy Valentine's.